Peace to your feet, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confused. From the streets to the world, get the real, no cap. Breaking headlines, put the truth on the map.
Yo, fast with the facts, we don't play no games. Report on what's real, we ain't chasing fame. Call Peace TV, stay locked, stay tuned. If you want the real talk, we deliver it soon. Call Peace TV, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confused. From the
Hey y'all, hey, back with another video. This video is about our girl Naziah Harris. I'm going to be reacting and giving my input on a video that Mocha did on her channel, speaking with Janelle and Kiwana. So shout out to Mocha for this interview that you did with them. I wouldn't really call it an interview. It's just that they pulled up and they started having conversations, and she was asking questions that was like important. What I will say is that I didn't know that Naziah was on the missing and exploited website, but then all of a sudden, for some reason, FBI ended up taking her off the website, and I'm curious as to why did they do that. Also, it's going to be a point in here where Kiwana and Janelle talks about Shannon basically always knowing how to get into accounts of Naziah's and her brother Vari's at any time, like to track Vari when there was times he was running away, or to see who's sending them cash apps. And like Mocha said as well, like she believed that that was Shannon sending those text messages that they was reading off in the preliminary hearing. And y'all, I've been said that months ago that I believe that was Shannon sending a lot of those text messages to Jarvis, pretending to be Naziah at times. Also, I just knew that I felt like she was monitoring them way before all of this came out. Like Shannon knew from a long time ago what was going on between Jarvis and Naziah behind her back. So we gonna jump into this panel that Mocha held, and like I said, shout out to Mocha. I think this was a lot of good information that was told in here. So let's get into it.
Annette has ruined many lives. Annette has destroyed many children. And this is not what we're going to do. Call a thing a thing. Annette ain't shit. She's not shit. And it hurts me to know that Naziah was dealt that fucking hand and had to live with a goddamn Annette. I saw your comment, Janelle. I'm going to drop it for you. Don't nobody hit that link other than Janelle. I want to hear from Janelle.
Yeah.
Hey, Janelle.
Earlier, but not like we speaking on Miss Parker. Hey.
Hey, Janelle. How are you, boo?
I'll see you. Okay. I'm all right. As good as
What's going on? What's going on, sis?
I just kind of answer some of the questions. Like, she was on the missing exploited children's website. I don't know if she got taken off or what, but I was told that a lot of the information that was out previous, they removed it because of the high profile of the case, and I guess things might have been mentioned or said in the case that they don't want to stay out there. I don't know.
Okay, because I was confused because I searched.
Yeah, and
I didn't see her.
I was like, well, dang, it was on.
I don't hear you. There you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but she was on the missing exploited children's thing for the website. The FBI was involved in the beginning. I don't know if they're still involved now. I don't know what
Okay.
like how far they're involved now.
Okay.
We have called the FBI, since then, trying, to get them to look into it. It seems like we talk about everything else, and then some people do ask me like, what am I doing and what is Kiwana doing? And we tell them, and then they don't even mention it or say it or do it, like they don't follow through on it.
Uh-huh.
And like you said, no one it's a lot, I guess it's a lot of support behind the scenes in Detroit, but it's not really any major support. Because when it was all on the internet about protests and stuff, only the same 5 or 6 people showed up.
Wow.
People want to know why we're not searching. We don't even know where we would search. In the beginning, we kind of had a clue where to search, and that's when we was searching and trying to put things together. But at this point, we don't even know where to search.
Well, Janelle, could I just suggest something? Why don't y'all start with that church?
I don't
Because
even know if the church is still there or not. I guess I can look into it. I haven't seen them people in maybe 11 years.
y'all ever thought of hiring a private investigator?
Yeah, I've looked into that as well as other things that I can't talk about it right now, but it's real hard when you're not the person's legal guardian
Correct.
to do anything. We've been reaching out to people, trying to talk to people, say things to people, trying to get officials on on our side to do a better investigation or look into things, and they saying you're not the guardian. Just like, when all the stuff that's on the internet that's not
Mm-hmm.
true and the things that was going on, we tried to stop it, couldn't stop it because we're not the guardian, but yet the guardian does nothing.
Right.
So
So, because we've been hearing a lot of talk about she never came back from Ypsilanti, so getting a private investigator, that would definitely cover some
yeah,
ground.
yeah. Kiwano's trying to come on. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm telling y'all, I said in the beginning, the reason why they can't find Nazaya whereabouts is because he is like in Detroit, period, is because I believe that she is in Ypsilanti. And that's why I'm saying all that stuff that King was saying about getting back when he left from Ypsilanti, when they made it back and all, that's bull crap. The timing don't add up. The timing that he's saying, the timing that the sister-in-law of his is saying, and the timing of Jarvis' sister don't add up at all. Y'all need to go back through these videos I've done. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is not a coincidence that people are saying this. Like, literally, it just makes sense. Like, if she hasn't been trafficked, something happened to her in Ypsilanti, because technically that would mean Jarvis and King were the last ones to see her. Let's keep going.
Get a
And
private
and
investigator.
I agree with you, and I would never dispute that. I know that Annette is the guardian of Naziah. You, Kawana, Roxy, neither King, they won't give y'all no information.
Nope. That's the reason why it's hard to talk about everything, because a lot of this stuff is rumors. We don't even know them to be true. And then the stuff that we know to be true, we have said it, the things that we can talk about.
Right. So
We
at this
don't want
point,
to mess up this, this case.
we have to be honest in a lot of this. And it's sad that somebody has to be the guardian, because the guardian ain't shit. And even now, because that question is about balling off the tip of my tongue. Where's Lady? What's the role that she's playing in all of this? Because she got to have some type of say so. There, Janelle?
Yeah, I'm here. Is that any better?
That's a little better, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so that's all the reason why I came up, because It was her. She was listed on there early on. That was like in February of end of February of 2024 that she was
Okay.
listed on the missing and exploited children's website.
Okay. Now, my question. I have another question for you.
Hmm.
What's going on with Lady?
I haven't heard anything about Lady since November of last year. I have no idea where she at or what's going on.
Pregnant. Her
Yeah.
daughter. Her daughter. And there's no signs of Lady nowhere.
But yeah, I haven't heard anything from anyone's, hearing from her or seeing from her. I wasn't in touch with Lady, I'm an extended family member. I don't talk to them like everybody in the family. The only person who I had a close relationship was Shannon, because she would actually reach out. The rest of the family, they would reach out sometime, but not as often as Shannon. So I can't say that I was in constant contact with her at any point. So
Okay. Yeah, but and I can respect. You're telling us that y'all they're not giving y'all no information.
they're not at all. We hear a
And
lot of the
and
rumors and then the stuff that we, have found to be true, especially after the preliminary that we were saying. We was like, okay, well, we said that, but the rest of it was like, well, we didn't know that was going on.
right. So
Like, for instance, the 12 years.
where is Annette at this point? What I mean, I'm curious about a
Where is
whole lot
she
of
at?
shit with Annette.
Over there, living in her house, doing whatever it is she do. And
This,
the only thing that she has done was the one video back in February of 2024. And of course, she testified. Other than that, nothing. She
wow.
not even trying to put a stop to like the exploitation or anything like that.
She don't. It's like she just don't care.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
This is sad because it's like here it is. Annette. It's like Annette. It's like she brought Nazaya into this situation and she just left her hanging.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Just like people can't understand like the things that I did, I can't understand what they did. Everybody, if somebody was in my shoes, then maybe they could understand it better. But I did everything I could. Who was around her was helping shift it, like make it seem like I was lying. Like, I'm telling them the police this, but when they go over there, oh no, she must be lying. She's lying, and you know,
And y'all never thought that maybe by them, saying that y'all were lying, after a while, y'all never said and thought, well, hold up, maybe, Annette has CPS, maybe they have DPD in their back pocket. Y'all never thought of that?
not really. But now I'm wondering what's really going on, because it's like even now that everything's out, it's still not going with all this exposure and all the stuff that I didn't even know about coming out. It seemed like more serious. This should be a more serious situation. It doesn't seem.
It's because they know what happened. They played their parts in what happened, and I believe they do have connections. It's because for one, they have Annette has a son, which is Shannon's them brother in law enforcement. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know if anybody asked her lately, since it came out, but that they really do have a brother that's a police officer. I wish Mocha would have asked her now that. I don't know if they asked her previous to this, before or what, but like, I don't, maybe she didn't know that they had a brother in law enforcement because, like she said, she wasn't closely connected. That's part of the reason why. Like, they had help. They know the ropes and what to do because of that brother that's in law enforcement. He walks them through these things. Same way how they don't brothers was calling Dre, telling him don't speak and don't say this, don't say that. I'm telling y'all.
Like it's like brushed off. I don't I
That
don't get it
that
myself.
bothers me the most because it seems like Annette would do more where she's doing absolutely nothing. And especially when Annette is the one that created all of this. Annette is the gatekeeper for all of this.
I
Absolutely.
don't know if
Hello,
did
hello,
Kiwana get
Mocha.
on? Oh, there she
Yeah.
go.
Hey, Kiwana.
Hey, Mocha, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, babe?
All right, all right. I wanted to speak on a few things. I was letting you guys finish. I didn't want to interrupt.
Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, I just wanted to speak on. There's a lot of questions as if we weren't against the household in Mocha. I know you know, but I just want to make sure that it's clarified again. That's how we got here because we went up against the household. Okay, when I found out Janelle was already working, and we've said this interview after interview, and it just seems like nobody's hearing that part. When she found out, she did her due diligence. When I found out in 22, I jumped right on. Before that, it's none of this was like, oh, they knew Jarvis was a pedophile or something like that. I had heard rumors of him not treating um Shannon right, seen him twice, and that was by default. But never I was never around Jarvis. I was never in his face, um, or any of that. And again, that's how we got here, going up against the household. That's why we weren't allowed to come around when 2022, when I found out, and they knew that I was riding with Janelle as far as CPS. I was cut off. Okay, I was threatened. There was back and forths with myself, Marquita and Shannon. I have recordings with them threatening me. I have, times where we were supposed to, they were supposed to be pulling up in my multiple threats. Um, there was, I'm trying to say it lightly. There was police monitoring my household and journals and threatening us and so on. So, I just want everybody to stop spinning this narrative that we didn't go up against the household. Because if that was the case, I would have been able to be around the children, Isaiah, and so on, the way I wanted to. But that's why we were cut off. That's why I was cut off the moment they knew I was riding with Janelle. And that's when I found out, like, what he's doing, what happened, you know. And so it's like that's not being heard,
It's just a lot. And it's a
and
lot
they
of unanswered questions. And everybody's out here with a whole lot of emotions. Whole lot of emotions. Because this has bothered
absolutely.
a lot of people. The FBI won't drop a case unless they know 100% for sure where the body is.
Hmm.
And that's what we're trying to tell
That's what
people.
we
We
were
don't know
trying
if
to.
they still involved or not.
Absolutely.
When it's
But
been
mm,
in the beginning, we had some was getting a little bit of information here and there or piecing some things together, but they not telling us nothing, not a thing.
Wow. So now maybe y'all can answer this question as everybody has questions about. One of people's asking questions about that extra freezer, that big biohazard freezer in this woman's house.
Yeah, the industrial freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah, she I think she had that for a while now. Yes,
Wow.
to keep food in and stuff.
She keep food in a biohazard freezer.
I don't understand it myself. I ain't, when they told me she bought it, I've never seen it firsthand. Well, I was told that she bought one years ago, and I didn't know. I have a deep freezer in my house, but never to that extent. That's like restaurant grade.
That is fast. All the time that Annette, Shannon, all the time that they had between all of what was going on before it actually got in the hands of the authorities, they did something and they know they did something. And it's sad that they still sit back like this is nothing.
Absolutely, Mocha. And again, that was our whole fight was justice for Nazaya when we went to the investigators to say, no, these are lies. That these are lies, and y'all need to do something. This nothing they're saying is true. Okay, because as I've said before, they were trying to turn this into a runaway case. And
Mm-hmm.
again, we were already at battle with the household prior to Nazaya coming up missing. And when Nazaya came up missing, and we heard, what was rumored that she ran away, and so on. When days went by, that Friday, am I right, Janelle? That's when we
Yeah,
contacted
we
the
didn't find out till that
investigators.
Thursday. She went missing on a
That
Tuesday. We found out through a face. Well, I didn't even get to see the Facebook post personally. Someone called me and told me, "Hey, it's a post on the internet about from your niece saying that one of your nieces is missing." And I said, "What do you mean?" She sent it to me, and that was the post of Nazaya. So I found out that Thursday. Friday morning at 8 a.m., I was on the phone with the detective on the flyer, and Kiwana was on the phone with her that afternoon. But they kept on telling us what a grandmother said she ran away. And
exactly.
I
So
told them, no, I
we,
see she
we
had a
got into
ran away and came
screaming
back like a
matches,
day
Mocha.
later or something like that, maybe. But it's been too long. Something ain't right. And
Right.
accusations were made. And I knew this Jarvis was a sex offender. And I've
And
said
that
this
Mocha,
several times that when I
mhm,
found out he was a sex offender, he was not on the registry, and I reported it. And when like the office for sex where they have to report and things like that, she contacted me and she said, "Well, sometimes the things fall through the cracks, unfortunately, but we've taken the information and he's going to be put on the registry. We're going to make contact and put him on the registry." And then she said, asked me, was there a reason why I was making a report? I said, no, because I just found out he was a sex offender and he wasn't on the registry. She said, so no accusations have been made. I said, no. I said, but I don't understand because he's around children. He has a child with my niece, and he's around other children that live in that house. There are other children who live in that household. She
Mm-hmm.
said he's not on any type of restriction, so he can be around children.
Wow.
yep. And that's when I found out in 2022. And I didn't know anything prior to that. And when I found out in 2022, it was because Jernell had already been calling CPS and going back and forth with the household. And I found out because Shannon pulled me to the side to say, guess what Janelle did to me? And once she told the story, that's when I said to her, that don't sound like anything Janelle will make up, and it definitely don't sound like anything children will make up. And so,
Right. And the
which
thing
is
is,
why we were cut off.
we were
Yeah,
all
people like ask me a lot of questions. I don't know a lot of stuff. I have heard the rumors. I was told things by my grandmother and my father as to why, you know, I wasn't allowed to go over to my sister's house and different things like that. But you have to understand, my sister's 20 something years older than me.
hmm.
One of her children and I are the same age.
So Annette was born into incest pretty damn much.
See,
And
I don't know
and
about
she kept the trend
what
going.
she was born into. I just know that she had a child at 11 years old and she was pregnant. She was pregnant at 11 years old and she had a child around 12. I don't know how it came about. I don't know who the father of the child is. I know who the child is because he's older than me.
So
But
answer me this question. Did Annette actually have a baby with Eric Gamble? Because Annette has a son named Eric.
no, I don't know. No, I don't even know where that came from.
So with that part about her knowing that Annette got pregnant at 11, had the baby around 12ish, I think that one might be the son that's the police officer. That's what I'm thinking because she said they're around the same age or whatever. But what I think, if she knows that, which I'm not knocking Jonelle for it, and I wouldn't do it either. That's her story. That's Annette's story to tell. But I feel like if she knows that, she knows like what happened with her being pregnant at a young age. I feel like she know who's the father of that child. She just don't want to speak on it, which is fine. But that's just my opinion. I feel like they know. The family talks, like she's been saying for every time she's been on a podcast, on a panel. Family talks, and that's how things people know things. And I believe that her and Kiwana may both know who um, Annette was pregnant by. But that's like they always say, that's not their story to tell. So I just want to say that part. Let's keep going.
It's
To
a
us
lot of
as to,
mess.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
it's confusing
yeah,
as to why the FBI would take her name off the list. You know,
yeah.
they said there's in the chat they're saying that her name is on another list, but it's not the FBI's list.
Oh, see,
I want to.
which list is it on? Is it the because it when I looked, it was on the missing and exploited children's list, but that was
That's where
back in
she is.
February, March of 2024.
Right.
But this is something, like people want to know what they can do. This is what I've been working on. And I actually got a response back. It wasn't a response that I wanted. As far as the Michigan Attorney General to open up a full investigation.
Right.
And I sent a email. I've sent several emails. I've been sending an email every week for maybe about 4 or 5 months. And I finally got a response back maybe about, what was that, about 3 weeks ago? And basically they told me that they were referring my accusations to the Department of Human Services. So I responded back to them to tell them I've already talked to the Department of Human Services and CPS. I'm asking you to open up a formal investigation into CPS, DPD, Detroit Public Schools, everybody who had anything to do, foster care, everybody, because it's the stuff needs to be exposed, and that's like the highest level. At this
Right.
point, I'm trying to go above them because CPS basically spent it and said that, well, we reported it to DPD, and DPD just basically pretty much said, oh, well, yeah, we messed up. And then Detroit Public Schools is not saying anything at all. In Detroit Public School Police, as you can see on the stand during the preliminary, then nobody know nothing. Oh, that's how the protocol should go. That's how it should go. I was about to retire. Oh, well, I wasn't working that case. So, but they still haven't interviewed, or the detective that was on the case has not testified yet. So I'm hoping that she's going to testify at the trial. But as you can see, everybody keep on pushing the blame to a different entity. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to the Attorney General so she can look at everybody. We have
Okay.
been in
Like I said, you have to let these people know Annette ain't shit. Annette is the damn
no,
problem.
and that
You
is the
know.
problem. Shannon is the problem because
Yes.
I know I can't speak about nobody else, but I know for a fact that Shannon and Annette knew because Shannon was the one who told me. And when Shannon didn't seem like she was too concerned, I contacted Annette.
Right.
Like, hey,
So
did
did
you
y'all
know
get
this
in
was
touch with
going
any of
on?
the senators? Did y'all get in touch with any senators?
No, not yet. I sent out a couple emails to senators and representatives.
Because we're not legal guardians. I understand that. But the guardian is involved in her disappearance.
Yeah, because it's suspicious behavior, definitely.
Correct.
We've
Yeah,
been
we've been screaming that since the beginning. Like,
since the
why are
beginning.
you lying about what devices she had? That was our point of fighting. And like I said, we were having screaming matches with the first investigator. As to, are you going to listen to them or are you going to listen to us? How? And that's the question, a big question for anybody that want to listen to them at all. How do you consider them credible at all? When they
Right.
did nothing to protect her. We're
Yeah,
on the outside trying to protect her, and not
right.
just her alone. So how is anything they say credible? That makes no sense. That's
Yeah,
been our problem the whole time. That's where we started from.
And the sad part, I'm calling out Annette and Shannon in all of this. But then I also have a problem with Lady because according to the stories that's out there, Lady was seen with Nazaya the day before she supposedly went missing. So what is it that she knows?
Yeah, we when I talked to her, she said she took her to get her hair done that night.
Mm,
And that was back when she first
mm.
and that was back when she first went missing, she told me. It was like that Saturday after Nazaya went missing. She was telling me what happened, and so I don't know, but I wish she had come and
So
stand up for her baby.
did y'all hear? So did you have y'all heard anything in regards to from what I heard, and that came from extended family members, that Shannon and Jarvis was taking Nazaya to the Travel-In Motel to turn tricks.
I've heard a lot, but that was the first I've ever heard of that. I don't know if it's true or not, but at this point, I don't anything can be true that's going around.
Yeah, that's my
Cause
head
like
is
we know a
spinning.
little bit, and then other people who was around them know a little bit, and then other people who was around, and all of it's around by all this sex trafficking, sex stuff. And I'm like, and that was one of my things with Shannon. These children are over sexualized. Something is going on. These children are over sexualized. Something is going on.
Wow.
She didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to believe it. So this is where we're at. Cause she could have stopped.
So this is my thing. Now I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. But before it came out that lady was the last one to like the lady synced Nazaya the day before she went missing. I don't recall Janelle ever speaking up on that beforehand before it hit the fan. With Kenneth saying that lady was with Nazaya the day before she went missing. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I never heard Janelle speak on it and say that her and Lady had a conversation and that Lady told her that she took her to get her hair done the day before. I don't know. I might be wrong, but I don't know. Let's keep going.
I think yeah, she don't give a damn because she want to keep it quiet, swept
Yeah.
under the rug,
Everything
or
swept under the
don't
rug because
believe it's as serious as what it is, or
she want
I
to
don't
keep
know.
doing what she's doing the way that she's doing it, the only way she knows how to do it, and it's just going to continue going. That
Yeah,
cycle will never break.
that's what I've been telling Shannon for the longest. It's a generational curse. I didn't grow up with these issues in my household,
Animo
and that's
said that,
probably the reason why, you know, when we working in the human services field, this is what we're taught. Contact CPS, contact the police, and then, the process, the investigation to go from there. I've never had any.
Well, one thing I can say this to be absolutely true is as far as Nazaya's social medias and as far as her brother's social medias, Shannon has always been the one that knew how to get in and out of their social
Mm-hmm.
medias.
that's what I
And
She
know.
know the password
and
and
when
stuff.
it came about as far as the investigate when they were investigating the case and they were saying she went online and do this and that, we were like, no, that's Shannon.
Yeah,
She hasn't
that's
went
what they
online and
found
do
out.
anything, and
They
they
told us that
found
they
out
had saw somebody log into Nazaya's um Instagram. So
from the
they thought that
house.
they finally got a hit to find Nazaya. No,
Hmm.
it was Shannon.
It was Shannon.
I figured as much.
Just like when Vari ran away those times he did, her way of trying to get us in trouble and have the police surrounding houses and such was she went into his Instagram to track him. And
Yep.
See, I knew it. Like Shannon been pulling screens from the jump. She been doing weird stuff. Like she's probably the mastermind behind all of this stuff. And then, well, we know Annette is the head honcho, but Shannon is the mastermind behind all this messiness that's been going on with this case and not knowing what's what. It's Shannon. She been pulling screens. Let's keep going.
on Messenger and stuff like that,
Oh
or to
wow.
see who was sending him cash apps or
So Shannon is so it's Shannon that's posting the pic. I told y'all Shannon was sick. I told the chat that many days ago. Shannon is a monster. Just like those text messages that was read in that preliminary. Those were Shannon text messages.
Shannon is very good with the internet when it comes to pages and multiple Facebooks. And when I say good, I don't mean like from the scale of you got a fake Facebook and this Facebook, you can go on and there's no pictures. No, I mean that she has had over time to look like this is Chrissy, or this is Tamia or whoever, and you would absolutely believe that.
yeah,
Not
she
only
used the
that,
page and
but
lurked and built it up just like she a
and
person
build
that's
it
been on
up.
the internet
Wow.
Because
for
that's what she would
years.
do to stalk whatever situation she had with her. Now that much I knew. Whatever was going on with her and her Jarvis and his other women, that is what she did. But that is all I knew. That he was a cheater and pretty much a womanizer. Okay,
Wow.
because when
Yep.
she would get in trouble and one device got taken, these kids, they know how to get on social media and make another uh Instagram or
Account somewhere
whatnot
else,
account. Yeah.
or on somebody else's phone, or at a friend's house, or at a whatever.
And that's why the police were back and forth with, okay, now we're investigating this device and this device along with Jarvis device and this device, and they said this device, and they said the mother gave her this device. They were investigating all these devices.
Wow.
Where she at? No, they was looking for the devices because they had stumbled on them so-called text messages that Shannon discovered out the
Hmm.
blue.
Hmm.
She said,
Mm-hmm.
I just ran over these text messages and I text Jarvis and said all of this. Well, no, she texts Ramon.
And she's never called him Ramon. Let's be clear.
That's his middle name. She has never called him Ramon. She always calls him Jarvis or Jay. And
Wow.
in those text messages, she specifically said, Ramon, I see what it is. I found the text messages between you and Tuda. And I'm like, well, why did she call him
Him
Ramon?
Ramon. We felt like it was cold talk. We took that to the we as soon as we saw that and felt that, anything we saw and felt, we went straight to the investigators about it.
Right.
Yep. As soon as we
So
saw that on
let me ask this question. Being that Shannon
Wow, wow, wow. Fucking wow. So Shannon is the one that discovered the text messages. This is she did this, bro. Like she literally was sending those messages, making it seem like she was Naziah. And like they said, that stuck out to them because they the family and they know that she's never called Jarvis Ramon, but you call him Ramon that day. I told y'all, but let's keep going.
is so deeply involved in all of this, right? Do y'all believe or do y'all feel that Shannon shared a lot of this stuff with Marquita?
they shared
Absolutely.
everything from what I
They share
understand.
everything.
That's what I thought. And I said it, Marquita's a liar. She
Cause
knows.
like they would get into, you know how siblings get into it and stuff. But regardless of what they got into it about, they always gonna stick with each other.
Yeah, they sisters, they twins. And just like the first Facebook post that went up, the first person that reached out that started the war was Marquita. I mean, as far as the back and forth with Kenya on Facebook. Marquita, once Kenya got off the phone with Auntie Annette about it, did this happen? Annette, did that happen? Annette. Then once she told
They
her
attacked
daughters what
Kenya.
happened, when she told her daughters what Kenya called her about, Marquita went on Facebook to check it and saying, "Be mad your business, word da 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 da," and it went on from there. And now
And put
that
Right.
all the
Shannon
Kenya
is on
business on the
Facebook,
internet.
then Kenya responded and said, "Well, it's pedophiles in the house." And that once Marquita and Shannon was eating at her on Facebook, that's when she went with her post and said, "You can't sweep it under the rug." And that was in 2020 two.
So y'all heard that. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Um, Annette is the head honcho. Shannon is the lapdog that's pulling the strings for Annette because Annette not too bright, probably. Like She just don't look like she know how to maneuver and do certain things. So, um, tell me what y'all think in the comments. Drop down in the comments. But I said this. I said that was Shannon wrecking those phones and tablets and stuff, sending those text messages. But I'm out. Bye.
VV, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confuse. From the streets to the world, keep it real, no cap. You're breaking headlines, put the truth on the map. Call it peace. VV, we bringing the news. Facts stay sharp, yeah, we never confuse.